Okay, today's video was going to be on, my wife wanted like a light for her book. She likes to read the book at night in bed with the lights off, but needed a bit of a light on it. So I made her something on the laser. I'll put a little video to show how it came out. I mean, you could easily cover it over. This I've left open, as you can see at the moment, but I just wanted to show how I got that. It's really very simple to make. So first of all, you got to just choose your size that you want. I went with 11 inch by 4 inch, so I'll just redo this again. So drag out a square, change the size, 11 inch by 4 inch, or whichever size book. She reads a lot of the same kind of books, and I measured the size out, and that was about right. So all I did then was, with the radius, went round the corners. So just clicked on the corners, set the radius that I wanted, just to so the corners weren't sharp. Down here, and then so with these to hold the book, all I did was just drag out however thick your material is. I'll have to do this in millimeters because I know my material is 4.2 millimeters thick, or that's, you know, a nice fit. And then 4.5 inches, so 4.5 inches wide. Now you got this. All I did was tilted it about the angle I thought. I'm going to press Ctrl and D and duplicate that, just so I've got one other there, just in case. So this is actually what I did. I touched it onto the edges like this. I mean, there's other ways you could just measure it out, but this is how I did it. So then I just went with the arrow keys, 2 in and 2 down, Ctrl and D to duplicate, mirrored it, dragged the same thing. I dragged it to this side and done the same thing till the 2 corners was touching. So yeah, just get them till you're happy with where it is. And then that's the bottom part done, well, unless you want to put some text or something like that. And then all you got to do is duplicate that bottom part, and then this top one, because I put the lights in there, I just stretched this out enough to add the lights, so, you know, whatever, I added another inch or so. And then I measured my little lights, they was 0.19 round, and then I just moved it up onto the design there, used the array tool to make, I went 10 rows across and 2 rows down, and then just fix the space into, you know, however you want your lights. And then I shifted this row because there was 19 lights. I shifted that row across till it was about in the centre, said OK, and then just deleted this one odd one. So now that's where the lights were coming through. So now you got the top and the bottom. And then this, what I duplicated earlier, this is going to be the backboard between the two. So however tall the book is, I think that, what did I go? 7.5 inches. So height, you want 4.5 that way, the same. And then the height, 7.5. And then duplicate, because you need 2 of those. And that's basically it, done. One thing you can do to save time if you want, what I do sometimes is make sure these are lined right up, and then get the lines on top of each other like that, right click, convert it to a path, and then with the node editing tool just press the letter D, and that'll delete out. I'll just show. You can see now that line's deleted out, so it'll do both these cuts in one go. You can actually do the same with the whole lot. Oh, one other thing that I did do on my design was added just a little slot along here, just to hold a piece of wood there, so that it kind of blocked the lights, you know, from going in your eyes. But yeah, you can do that with anything, you know, nest it. You just got to watch if it's something very precise. But, you know, if it don't matter too much, you can just zoom right in, make sure you're right on top of the other line. And then with this one, actually, what I could do is I've got to convert that to a path, and then I could just delete out this top line now, and then this top line. So now I'll just show you, if I move this, you can see it's going to cut these while it cuts that, so just a way to save some time. And then you can actually do the same with this, because where the corners are rounded, when you use the node editing tool, it will round, you know, it'll go to where the corners are rounded. So just to show you, I'm going to right click, convert to path, go to the node editing tool, hover over this bottom line that I don't want and press D. You can see now if I zoom in, like that's, you know, you wouldn't notice that, you could drag that down to there, but it's the tiniest amount, like a hair. Yeah, let's do the same there. So yeah, now this, you know, is kind of a bit more nested together. And then, yep, if you wanted to add your text, you just would add it on here, and then just make sure that you put it on a different layer. So get the selection tool, make sure it's selected, and then click on the layer you want. And then that way you can make that layer your text settings, you know, your engraving settings. So like 350 at 18 power. And that would work for me. Air assist off, 254 dots per inch is fine, or lines per inch. And then to make sure this is centered, you just click that on the outside of this box and say align centers. So yeah, I'll put one more little video of the final outcome. And all I did was I used a glue gun to stick it together, and then when I put these lights in, I just used a little glue gun blob on them just to keep them in there, and then with the glue gun stuck the box with the batteries on the back. So thanks very much for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I'll add another video as soon as possible. Thank you.